Hello everyone. We are moving on to last part of our chapter. In this last part, we are going to discuss about limiting reagent and reaction in solutions. First one is limiting reagents. Sometimes the reactions are carried out when the reactants are not present in the amounts as required by a balanced chemical reaction. The equations which represents these type of reactions are known as non-stoichiometric reaction equations. In such situations, the reactant which is present in the lesser amount gets consumed after some time, and after that no further reaction takes place. It doesn't matter whether the other reactant is remained unreacted. The reactants which gets consumed or limits the amount of product formed is called limiting reagent. Now here is the picture from which you can understand about limiting reagent. Here the reactants are in blue and red color. After the reaction you can see that blue reactant is completely reacted. So we can say that the reactant in blue color is a limiting reagent. For example, I have 1 mole of Ag, that is silver, to react with 1 mole chlorine to form AgCl, that is silver chloride. The stoichiometric equation for this reaction of silver and chloride to form silver chloride is 2Ag plus Cl2 gives 2AgCl. Here the stoichiometric ratio is 2 is to 1 is to 2. But I have only 1 mole of silver, that is Ag, and 1 mole of chlorine to produce AgCl. The question is, what will happen next? Let us look. We know that the reactants only react in the stoichiometric ratio. So if I have 1 mole Ag, only 0.5 mole of chlorine reacts to form 1 mole of AgCl, that is to keep up the stoichiometric ratio. In this reaction of 1 mole of Ag plus 1 mole Cl to give AgCl, 1 mole of silver completely reacts with 0.5 mole of chlorine to form 1 mole AgCl, that is silver chloride. Since the reaction only takes place in the stoichiometric ratio of 2 is to 1 is to 2 for this reaction. So here silver is completely reacted, which we call it as limiting reagent, and only 0.5 mole of chlorine took part in the reaction. So remaining 0.5 mole is excess for this reaction. Hence we call it, that is chlorine, as excess reagent. Now we will move on to reactions in solutions. A majority of reactions in laboratories are carried out in solutions. Therefore, it is important to understand as how the amount of substance is expressed when it is present in the form of a solution. The concentration of a solution or the amount of substance present in its given volume can be expressed in any of these following ways. First one is we can express it in mass percentage or weight percent, or we can express it in mole fraction. Next is molarity, and the fourth one is molality. Now we are going into detail of this. First one is mass percent. It is obtained by using the following relation. Mass percent is equal to mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. Next is mole fraction. It is the number of moles of a particular component to the total number of moles of the solution. If a substance A dissolves in substance B, and the number of moles are represented as Na and Nb respectively. Then the mole fractions of A is given as mole fraction of A is equal to number of moles of A divided by number of moles of solution. That is Na divided by Na plus Nb. Now for mole fraction of B, we have to find the mole fraction of B. We can use the formula, that is mole fraction of B is equal to number of moles of B divided by number of moles of solution. That is Nb divided by Na plus Nb. Next is molarity. It is the most widely used unit and is denoted by capital letter M. It is defined as the number of moles of the solute in 1 liter of the solution. It can be written as molarity is equal to number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. Suppose we have got 1 molar solution of a NaOH, and the NaOH means sodium hydroxide, and we want to prepare 0.2 molar solution of NaOH from it. That is 1 molar NaOH means 1 mole of sodium hydroxide present in 1 liter of the solution. So to prepare 0.2 molar solution, we require 0.2 moles of sodium hydroxide in 1 liter solution. Hence we have to take 0.2 moles of sodium hydroxide and make the solution up to 1 liter. Now how much volume of concentrated NaOH should be taken, which contains 0.2 moles of sodium hydroxide? That can be calculated as, if 1 mole is present in 1 liter or 1000 ml, then 0.2 mole is present in 1000 ml divided by 1 mole into 0.2 mole. That gives 200 ml. Thus, 200 ml of 1 molar NaOH are taken out and we dilute it up to 1 liter by adding water. For such calculations, in fact, we are using general formula, that is M1 into V1 is equal to M2 into V2. Here, capital letter M and V are molarity and volume respectively. In this case, M1 is equal to 0.2, V1 is equal to 1000 ml and M2 is equal to 1. We are going to find V2. That is, V2 can be calculated as by substituting the values in the formula. M1 into V1 is equal to M2 into V2. Therefore, V2 is equal to 0.2 molar into 1000 ml divided by 1 molar. That is equal to 200 ml. Next is molality. It is defined as the number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. It is denoted by small letter m. Don't go into confusion, that is molarity is denoted as capital letter M and molality is denoted as small letter m. That is, molality is equal to number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kg.